Just after midnight, my phone lit up with a message from my wife, Lena. Her tone was light, almost playful, but there was something underneath it, something she didn't bother hiding anymore. Asterisk, haven't had a good night out in a long time. I'm heading out to enjoy myself, asterisk. On any other night, I might have wished her fun or asked where she was going. But tonight I decided to stay silent. I wanted to see just how far she'd let this little game of hers go. Instead of answering, I forwarded her live location to the husband of her closest friend, along with a short sentence. You'll understand when you look. I wasn't sure how quickly the dominoes would fall, but I knew they would. Lena enjoyed presenting herself as someone completely in control of her world, someone who could slip in and out of situations unnoticed. Tonight, that illusion was going to crack. Half an hour later, my phone buzzed. I expected excuses or a laugh. Instead, she sent one terrified question. Asterisk, how did you find out? Are we done? Asterisk. I could feel the fear soaking through her words. She had no idea that I'd been paying attention for weeks, watching her patterns, checking the nights she stayed late, noticing the sudden secrecy. She also had no idea that this was only the start of what I had prepared. My silence made her spiral. Message after message came through. Confusion, panic, attempts to explain things I hadn't even asked about. Lena left the house earlier brimming with confidence, convinced that her little deceptions were invisible. Now she was realizing that the fog she created wasn't hiding her nearly as well as she thought. I still didn't respond. I let her sit with the uncertainty she had forced into our marriage. This wasn't pure vengeance. Part of me wanted her to understand something she never seemed to grasp. Choices create consequences, and lies aren't as airtight as people think. By the time she reached the crowded lounge she planned to visit, she was nearly frantic. She kept toggling her location on and off, trying to cover her trail, deleting messages as quickly as she sent them. None of it mattered. I already knew her path, the timing, the person she meant to meet. A man she'd been hiding behind vague excuses and late-night errands. I watched from a distance as she joined him. The way she leaned in, the way she smiled at him. Confirmation of every suspicion I'd pushed aside for months. And still, I didn't confront her. I escalated instead. I sent key screenshots, her messages, her location history, to a select group of people who knew her well. Not many. Just enough for the truth to spread quietly but unmistakably. She must have felt the shift almost immediately, because within minutes her panic doubled. She couldn't control the narrative anymore. The night she planned so confidently had turned into a trap of her own making. Meanwhile, her accomplice received a message from me as well. A timeline of their night, copies of her texts, and a simple warning. Asterisk, think carefully about what you're involved in, asterisk. The shock hit him instantly. His name lit up my screen again and again as he tried to respond, only to stop each time. An hour later, I invited a few of our closest friends to the house. When they arrived, I laid everything out. Proof, messages, timelines. Their reactions were immediate. Disbelief, anger, disappointment. Some had suspected, but none had solid evidence until that night. Lena tried to call repeatedly. I ignored every attempt. I wanted her to face the weight of what she had done without being able to twist it into something else. When she eventually came home, she looked drained. Eyes red, makeup smeared, confidence shattered. She tried to speak, but every explanation she offered collapsed under the evidence I showed her. This wasn't a fight. It was the unveiling of truth she'd tried desperately to bury. I stayed calm as I laid out the consequences. No raised voice. No dramatics. Just facts. Each one a reminder of how deeply she had underestimated me. Every lie she told, every carefully hidden meeting, every manipulation had been documented. Now the mask was gone, and she was left staring at the mess she created. By morning, Lena finally understood that her actions had cost her more than she ever imagined. I left her sitting in the quiet house, processing everything while I stepped outside into the cool, early air. The weight of months of suspicion finally lifted. This night wasn't meant to destroy her. It was meant to expose the truth she kept pretending didn't exist. And as I drove away, I knew one thing for certain. She would never again assume that deception came without consequences, or that the person she thought she could manipulate would stay blind forever.